23,000.
I don't believe it.
That's what she said.
Oh, they must have the wrong house.
The bungalow in Brookside, she said.
23,000 for a matchbox like that? What must this be worth?
Not much more.
Oh, George, love, you haven't got a clue. This is an house with an upstairs, downstairs in my lady's chamber. That is a bungalow.
Bungalows are dear.
Not that dear, dear.
Suit yourself.
40,000.
You what?
This house must be worth 40,000.
Marie, love, this private school business must be going to your head. You're talking soft.
I've seen bigger houses than that on a monopoly board, and if that's worth 23,000, this is worth every penny of 40,000.
There's nothing worth £40,000 on this close. Not even the grants.
Oh, aye.
Well, theirs is a detached. This is a semi.
Detached are colder than semis.
Oh, Marie, the grants is worth much more than this.
You might think so. I don't.
Why don't you go and see him? Make him an offer.
Eh?
You don't have to offer the full amount.
How much will I offer?
Perhaps he'll accept 22.
I'm sure he'll take 22. That works out about £1,000 a foot.
Now you're exaggerating.
No, it's him that's exaggerating. £23,000.
Ralph would probably pay 23,000.
We'll go and see him in a minute.
Hello, Percy Thrower.
Hello. You're home early, aren't you?
Yeah, the meeting broke up. 10:30. What are you doing there? It's a bit late for sweet peas, isn't it?
Oh, expert, are you?
Well, I did look after the window box, didn't I, Queen?
Why did the meeting break up then?
They won't budge an inch, will they? Ah, times have changed, girl.
How do you mean?
What are you laughing at?
Nothing, love. Go on. Times have changed.
Well, you know why the managements of Brights have issued them redundancy notices, don't you?
Is it closing down?
Ah, the heck. The lads are really entitled to a pay rise, aren't they? So they issue the redundancy notices and we get called in. But then we have to negotiate on the basis of a pay cut so they can keep their jobs instead of the few bob that the lads are really entitled to.
Well, if you know that, it's not going to work, is it?
It already is, isn't it? A couple of days ago, that was a militant factory. Yesterday, they were staring a dole in the face, and today, they're still shaking, so they'll take anything they're offered. It's called modern management. Thatcher style. Hey, are you all right?
Yes, love.
Should you be doing this, Shay?
I'm pregnant, love. Not dying. Have you seen Matty?
I'm having a fight with him tonight.
You're not, you know. Somebody's invited us around.
Who?
Sam and Alan.
Are they?
I promise we'll go. What?
Sam and Alan. Sounds like food poisoning. Do you think they'll go through with it this time?
Why don't you?
Well, she stood him up last time, didn't she?
Oh, don't say that, love.
Listen, I better ring Matty. Tell him I'm going to be late. I don't want to be accused of treating him like dirt again.
Hey, while you're in there, ring the estate agents.
What for?
Find out how much they're asking for the bungalow.
Nosy poke.
Suit yourself.
Who's the agent?
Skip Pierce. Oh, and hey, love, while you're in there, have a look in the mirror.
Why?
There's some sort of rash on your face.
Is there?
I'm not saying that we should sell the house. I'm saying that we should tell the agent that we're thinking of selling it.
But why?
So that we can get a free valuation.
And what's the point of a free valuation?
So that we can find out how much it's worth.
Well, go and ask Heather. She's taken her board down, so she must have sold the place, and it's the same house as this.
This has been improved. Heather's hasn't. There's no comparison.
Well, I just don't see.
I'm just curious, that's all.
Yeah. You're curious, all right.
Hello. Oh, yes, hello. Yes, I'll hold. It's the private school, George. Yes. Speaking. What? Oh, there must be some mistake. I see. Yeah. Right. Thanks.
What is it?
Where's my ciggies, George?
But over there behind you, what is it?
The school. They've turned our kids down.
Why?
She said they failed their verbal reasoning test. My kids. They've got more verbal reasoning in their little fingers than them posh kids have got in the whole of their bodies. Oh, you know what this is, don't you? It's because they never talked with an ollie in the mouth. Talk so far back your voice is behind you and you're all right in that school.
Marie.
Any trace of a working-class accent and you're barred.
Marie, you're wrong. The kids can talk any way they want as long as the parents have got money.
Little Lord Fauntleroy's, that's what they're supposed to be.
Marie, they failed it, fair and square.
My kids never failed anything. Oh, yeah. This just about suits you, doesn't it?
Here we go.
You never wanted them to go there in the first place, did you?
No, I never.
You were quite content letting them slide down poles in a fire station for the rest of their lives.
There's no shame in that, Marie. I'm proud of my job.
And there's no shame in wanting a decent job where you don't have to go and work nights 1 week in 3.
Look, we've had all this out before. There's kids get them jobs from ordinary comprehensives.
Oh, yeah? Like Damon Grant and that gorp that he goes round with.
That's not the fault of the school.
Kids that go to comprehensives end up on the dole. Kids that go to private schools get work. I'm going to go up to that school.
Oh, look, Marie, I've got work.
That's got nothing to do with it.
It's got everything to do with it. Look, them teachers who are teaching Gordon Collins at that private school, they've learned everything they know on the rates. On the rates and on the taxes that people like me and Bobby Grant have to pay. And now those people have got the nerve to turn round and say they're not going to pass on what they've learned to our kids unless we pay them extra. Now, do you want our kids teaching by the likes of them?
Yes, George, you do.
Well, thank God they're not going to be.
Yeah, well, I'm going to see about that.
Edna's a bit worried about you.
Is she?
Well, you can't leave the country and leave house and so, can you?
True. We could do with a quick sale, all right.
Yeah, that's what Edna said. As a matter of fact, she asked me to make an offer for it.
You want to buy it?
I don't. I don't give a damn about it. But Edna fancies it, and, mind you, the price would have to be right.
What were you thinking of, H?
Well, look at the condition of it for
Oh,
starters.
come on, there's no wrong with it.
You must be joking. Hitler's bunker looked better than this. I'll tell you what, as a guess, I'd say about 1905.
Guess again.
1906.
Sorry, H.
Oh, well, suit yourself, but it'll break Edna's heart.
Look, I'm open to offers, H, but not that low.
There's other reasons why you should sell quick and be off, you know.
Why?
Well, you have been making a show of yourself, haven't you? Drunk for weeks on end. Screaming up and down the close. Carrying on with that tart, Liz.
Yeah.
Well, what if Samantha got to know?
Sam? Sam?
Yeah?
Come here a minute, will you, love?
Look, I'll be off.
No. You stay right where you are, mate.
Hello, Harry. What is it, love?
Harry's got something to tell you, Sam.
It's nothing, love, honest. I'll be seeing you.
No. Go on. Tell her. Well, tell her then. Go on.
Forget it, eh?
And H,
Yeah?
even if you offered me twice what I'm asking, you wouldn't get it now.
Just through here, Mr. Jackson. Thanks.
Hello, Mrs. Jackson.
It's very good of you to see me.
Not at all. Do sit down.
I can only spare you 10 minutes, I'm afraid.
I've got to get down to the pavilion. I'm opening for the staff.
Don't you have a caretaker?
Opening bat.
Oh! Opening baths.
Yes, now, what can I do for you?
You've turned my kids down.
Yes, I did.
Why?
I thought my secretary had explained. We have very strict rules of entry.
She said they failed a verbal reasoning test.
Yes, that's correct.
They couldn't have.
I'm afraid they did.
But the brightest buttons. They're always talking and laughing and cracking jokes. They're quick.
Yes, I'm sure they are. And so are 90% of the population of this city. Unfortunately, the ability to tell a joke bears no correlation with one's ability to conjugate a Latin verb.
But you can teach them Latin verbs. They'll pick anything up.
I'm afraid our experience suggests otherwise. You see, Mrs. Jackson, we can predict a pupil's academic attainment at 18 from his performance in our tests at the age of 11.
So the 7 years in between don't make any difference?
I wouldn't put it quite as starkly as that.
No, I'm sure you wouldn't.
Look, Mrs. Jackson, I don't have to defend my school. It has an excellent academic reputation. As I recall, it was that which brought you here in the first place.
Because I want it for my kids.
There are other schools.
I want this one.
Look, there are other schools, private schools, of a more vocational nature. I'm sure that one of those would...
this one.
Forgive me, Mrs. Jackson, but you're going to have to reconcile yourself to the fact that your children cannot come here.
Not yet, I'm not.
Are you seriously telling me that you're prepared to see your children spend 7 years of their lives, forgive my being harsh, but it is the children we're concerned with, spend 7 years in a school to which they're just not suited?
Mr. Hume, I was born in the Dingle. My dad's idea of a night out was 8 pints in the alehouse, and then he'd come home and kick hell out of me man. Oh, that was such good fun, it put her in an early grave. Then he cleared off, left me on my own, with 2 kid sisters to rear. One of them married another no-good, and she killed herself a year later. And it's because of that that I've got the money to pay these schools' fees. The women in our family have given blood so that my kids can walk through your door. They've given blood. And you are not going to slam that door in their faces.
Let me make a phone call, will you? Yes, as I thought. Yes, of course. Oh, are there? How many, do you know? Yes, I see. Right, thanks. Oh, phone the pavilion for me and tell them to ask Peter Gilmore to open, will you? I'll be along shortly. Thank you, Jim. Bye. Well, Mrs. Jackson, the position is as I thought. This September's intake is completely full, so September '85 is the best that I could do.
But they'll miss a year.
If they're half as determined as you are, I'm sure they'll catch up very soon.
But what are they going to do for a year?
On the local comprehensive.
Couldn't you squeeze them in?
A lot of schools would do just that. No, we won't. That's why our record is as it is.
I'm not sending them to the comprehensive.
Well, there is a possible alternative.
What's that?
This September's intake of day boys is completely full, as I said. But there are still a few places available for weekly boarders.
What, they live here all week?
Yes, and return home at weekends.
I'd hardly see them.
There are some parents who would consider that a blessing.
I love my kids.
I realize that. But there are real benefits, Mrs. Jackson. A total school environment can do wonders for a child, you know.
Okay.
Are you sure, Mrs. Jackson?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right. But there is one further complication, I'm afraid, as always. It is rather more expensive.
We've got the money. My sister sorted that.
Quite. Well, you don't have to make up your mind immediately. You can talk it over with your husband first.
Why?
Well, it is a big step. Is that a problem?
No.
Your husband wouldn't be opposed.
No. George will be all for us.
Good. Because we shall need his signature as well.
Obviously.
Blackmail?
What?
You tried to blackmail him.
Misunderstanding, that's all.
And you didn't offer 21,000, you offered 19,500.
19.6.
Only because he wouldn't accept 19,500.
Well, I was going to get around to 20 eventually.
When, Christmas?
I suppose you would have offered it right away, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's because you're soft.
No, because we agreed.
We also agreed I'd do the negotiating, didn't we?
Yes, well, he's prepared to give you one more chance.
He's prepared to give me one more chance. The boot's on the other foot, woman. He's had my offer.
Yes, and he's had another one as well.
How much?
21,500.
Oh, you're a nutcase. Have you been over there and offered him 21.5?
No.
Who then?
Ralph.
We'll see about that.
Well,
Well, what?
aren't you going to ask?
No.
They're going. You are?
I said.
Oh, don't get carried away by your enthusiasm, will you?
Well, it'll keep them off the streets, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. It's going to do that, all right. You've got to sign a form, George.
You've signed it.
Yeah, well, they probably chucked it out, you know, when they turned them down. So,
Give us a pen. What's this?
you've just got to sign it, George.
Weekly boarders. I thought they're supposed to be day boys.
There isn't any more room for day boys.
You were going to let me sign this?
Because I knew that you'd carry on if I told you.
You must think I'm mad. Weekly boarders. I'm not sending my kids away for a week at a time.
Why not?
Because I love them.
And so do I. That's why I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah, you love them that much you can't wait to get rid of them.
No, because I want them to do something with their lives, and if they get into that school, they'll be able to do it.
There's other schools.
Not like this one.
No, Marie, you're not on.
George, will you sign it?
No, Marie. It's not very often I put my foot down in this house, but by God, I'm doing it this time. No, Marie, no.
All right. All right, we'll let them turn out like the Grants, shall we? Barry Grant, a thief. Damon Grant, an Ed Case. Karen Grant, a fishwife.
There's nothing wrong with Karen Grant. She's doing very well. 3 A-levels at the local comprehensive.
And you sound just like their father, a militant.
And you're getting ideas above your station.
Don't you ever say that to me, George. I know exactly where I lined up at the start of their great human race, right at the back. And that's where they're lining the kids up now. Well, they're not on. Because all my life I've been running. And it's only now the race is halfway over that I've suddenly found out I'm never going to catch up. I'm never going to catch up with the likes of Annabelle Collins because she had a better start on me in the first place. Well, they're not going to do that to my kids, because while I've got money in my pocket and breath in my body, my kids are running off right from the front.
Harold's got something to say to you.
Have I?
You know you have.
What is it?
Well, I'm sorry about before.
Oh.
Only she set her heart on this place, and I was just trying to get it for her.
So if it's all right with you, Alan, we want to make another offer.
How much?
I do the bargaining here.
How much, H?
21.6.
Harold. It's 22,000, Alan.
You what?
22,000.
He's only been offered 21.5. We need only go another ton over that.
You what?
22,000, Alan. Will you accept that?
Who's offered me 21,500, Edna?
22,000.
All right, Edna. Seeing as it's you, it's a deal.
As long as you throw in the carpets.
I wonder what it'll be like in here then.
Don't care, love, as long as it's not chopsticks again.
Oh, Sheila, we're buying the bungalow. I've got to go and phone Kevin.
See you, love.
More money than sense, that one. And watch what you're doing in there. We don't want to be buying a wreck.
Come in, Sheila, Bobby.
Have you won the pools? What is it, man?
Champagne!
Hey, what's the name of this club,
You
lad?
know what it is.
Make a good barman.
I'll tell you what, I love a drop of champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Sheila,
What?
will you be our witness next week?
Oh, hey, an honour.
Oh, marvellous. How about you, Bob?
What, you want me to give the bride away?
You're not keeping her, love.
If you would, mate, please.
Yeah, a pleasure, lad, a pleasure.
Oh, great. Hey, listen, seeing as there's no one else to do it for us, Sam and me have got an announcement to make.
Just a minute. Seeing as we're into announcements, we've got one.
Oh, wait, I see.
Well, we've got to know sometime.
What about?
Are you going to tell them or shall I?
No, go on, you.
Right. My husband and I
Go on, Queen.
are going to have a baby.
Baby!
Oh.
When?
Christmas.
Oh, Sheila! Oh, that's wonderful.
Hey, Bobby,
Hey,
congratulations.
two couples in 2 days.
Oh,
Well,
God, I
my
know.
God, there's life in the old dog yet.
Plenty of life there.
Oh, that's great. I tell you what we'll do. Let's have a double toast, eh? To Bobby and Sheila's baby.
The baby!
And to Sam and Alan's wedding.
Wedding. And no slip-ups. Come on, drink it down.
Take your time, Alan. There's 2 prizes.
You spoon more than
Well, I'm all excited.
Tomorrow morning at 11:55, Alan and Sam's big day arrives, but the whole event is marred by a horrible accident.